Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Precise Book Reviews. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, then please do so right now so that you do not miss any of my latest videos on interesting books and their reviews. This episode is special because I won't be reviewing any book, but I will discuss the books and their stories that I think everyone should read during the ongoing COVID-19 crisis. So, let us not waste any time and begin the episode. The coronavirus pandemic has kept us all at home. We are exhausted binge watching Netflix, Hotstar, and other OTT platforms. Why not take this opportunity to broaden our horizons and think with a different perspective? Why not we get motivated during these tough times by reading a book? Pick a book from your shelf that you intended to read many months or maybe years ago. Or you can watch this recommendations video till the end for some best books and read it on priority, because for these books what I have in the lineup, the timing is perfect. These books that I have lined up are not in any particular order, but I have divided them based on the lessons they impart, which are needed during the different situations of the pandemic. The first book is The Stoic Challenge by William B. Irwin. So, what is Stoic? Stoic is a noun and is used for a person who can endure pain or hardships without showing their feelings or without complaining. The author, who is a philosopher, brings together key lessons from the ancient Stoics and combines it with modern psychological techniques. He develops a simple strategy for dealing with life's unpleasant surprises, just like the COVID-19. Do you get frustrated often by minor setbacks like being caught in a traffic jam or missing your bus? Then this book is for you. Motivational examples of physicist Stephen Hawking, who slowly lost the ability to move, and surfer Bethany Hamilton, who lost an arm to a shark. Their hardship and struggles are inspiring. This book is a practical guide to using centuries-old wisdom to help us better cope with the stresses of these times. I would recommend you to read this book only if you are new to the principles of Stoicism. The second book that I will recommend is A Jewish Refugee in New York by Kadya Molodowsky. This book is a story of Rivka Zilberg, a 20-year-old Jewish woman who arrives in New York shortly after the Nazi invasion of Poland, which is her home country. She struggles to learn the new language and cope with a different way of life in the United States. Rivka keeps a journal where she writes about the challenges and opportunities of this new land. She also writes how she is so angry on how ignorant most of the people around her were about the situation in Europe. This book reminds us the early days of the pandemic, when most of us were under denial of the impact the virus will have because it was happening in some other country, and realized the serious situation only when it hit our own shores. The third book is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. One snowy night, a famous Hollywood actor slumps over and dies on stage during a performance. Hours later, the world as we know it begins to dissolve. A swine flu pandemic wipes out most of the world's population. 15 years later, a group of musicians and actors travel around the newly formed settlements to keep their art alive. In following the troupe's journey, the author showcases the impact of the pandemic on all their lives. This book is a 2014 National Book Award finalist and weaves together characters and perspectives from across the planet. Read this book to explore how humanity can fall apart and then somehow come back together. The fourth book I will recommend is A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. After the Russian Revolution, an aristocrat is sentenced to serve a life sentence under house arrest in the attic of a luxurious hotel. The story begins in 1922 and spans decades as it traces the protagonist's new relationship with the world, which he can view only from within the hotel walls. Even though he is confined within the walls, he finds himself a doorway into a much larger world of emotional discovery. This book is an inspiring portrait of one man's reliance on memory and imagination to maintain his resilience in isolation. This is a must-read for us during the quarantine times. If you are an emotional reader, then keep some tissues nearby. So, that's all for today's episode. If you liked the content, then please hit the like button and let me know in the comments below the books which you feel should have made it to my list.